Have you ever wondered who helps foster children stay connected with their families? Today we're talking with Anna, a Visitation Supervisor, a career most people have never heard of. She shares what it's really like to support children during their family visits, the skills this job requires, and why it's become such a meaningful career for her. Hello, I'm Vanessa with Nova Careers, and today my friend Anna is on with us. Anna, can you introduce yourself and tell us what you do?
Hi, my name's Anna, and I am currently a visitation supervisor.
Visitation Supervisor. Okay. At least I can say that one because some people come on here and I'm like, I don't even know what you said. So, as a visitation supervisor, break that down. Tell us what that is.
The quick way of saying that is I facilitate the visits between foster kids and their families. I get to pick up the kiddos and bring them to family time, and I'm the one who's technically responsible for the child during that time in lieu of the social worker. So, driving kiddos around for a living.
Okay. And this is different than the social worker. So, the social worker, I think I would have assumed that the social worker did that, but that's not the case.
No, not anymore, or
Okay.
not in this case, yeah. So I'm there in lieu of the social worker. I'm the one who, depending on what the referral says, there's different levels of supervision. And so I'm the one who takes all the notes, reports anything to the social worker that's important, whether it's things like making sure that the parent knows that the child needs a nap, or if there's things that I noticed about the home that may be unsafe, any communication issues between parents or family that might need to be adjusted, there's all those type of things with working with families that the social worker is the one who puts it in the referral. Once it's in the referral, it's like a boundary. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So, and you said you work with the foster kids. So these are kids who have been placed in foster homes, but they still get to go and visit their parents
Yes.
from time to time.
Yes. I believe it's part of Washington law that they're able to have family time to help encourage healthy relationships. And so our job is facilitating that. So,
Well, and that's super important. And I think I've talked to enough foster parents who will say, like, the most important thing or the thing they want most is for those kids to be able to be placed back with their parents
mhm.
if it's a safe for them to do so. So do you go to the houses of the parents? Is that where you always take the kids, or how does that work?
It just depends on the level of, like, access that they have.
Okay.
Sometimes it's just in community, sometimes it's in the home, sometimes it's only DCYF offices, sometimes parents are in jail, so it's, just phone calls. I've never done one of those, but it just depends on what level of kind of leniency that parent has, so it's
Okay.
very different. Same with level of, like, supervision. Sometimes it's supervised, which means you always have to have sight and sound. Other times it's monitored, which means, check in every 15 or 30 minutes, depending on what's on the referral. And other times it's unsupervised, where it's just pick up and drop off.
Oh, okay. All right. So
hmm
there's different levels.
hmm
How did you get into this career field?
Well, this one was kind of handed to me. I don't know how you would find this if you were somebody just, looking for something. My boss said they are on Indeed, but I was blessed enough to have somebody find me
Okay.
and tell me about the job, word of mouth, and then I guess I'm now able to do the same thing and so on and so forth. So
Okay. So you weren't out looking.
it came to me and I was like, "Okay."
So then this wasn't also probably what you thought, okay, when I grow up I want to be a visitation supervisor. That wasn't either on your radar.
Wasn't even on my radar.
Okay. Didn't really know about it until you were approached.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But what would you say is your favorite part of the job?
Kiddos for sure.
Yeah.
The time with the kiddos and just being able to the car rides. Like yesterday I had a visit and she was like a little girl. And so I was singing like Miss Rachel's songs and like ABCs, and it's just so fun to just interact with them. And kind of like my background is a lot of different psychology and all kinds of like developmental stuff. I love that kind of stuff. So being able to give that to the kiddos that are in a space where there's a lot going on, it's just really rewarding to be able to connect with them in that way. So whether it's me making sure I bring age appropriate toys in the car and they're just like shaking it around, singing songs, or they're tired putting on lullabies or making playlists for the older kids of like, songs that are what they like and singing
Right.
along with them, whatever it may be. Like, it's just really fun. That's
You're
my
like the
favorite part.
cool auntie.
I get to be the auntie, exactly.
So do you have kids of all different age ranges then that you supervise?
Yeah, it's anywhere from like birth to 18. I've only had like mostly toddlers based on my schedule because a lot of like the school age kids need to do visits in the afternoon and I just can't. It
Okay.
just doesn't work with my schedule. But for me, it's a lot of younger kids. And then during the summer, the older kids, because, they're out of school. So there's more opportunities for, those types of referrals for
Oh,
me. So,
gotcha. So then do you kind of get to make a schedule?
yes,
Yeah.
I do.
Okay.
One of the best parts about the job. You get to work when you want to, and as long as it works with the families, the caregiver and the mom or the dad, whoever is involved in the visit, then yeah, it's basically make your own schedule kind of thing. So, which is really nice.
Yeah. Because you have kiddos, so you can kind of work around their schedule and plan your visits accordingly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's awesome. So then what would you say is the hardest part of your job?
Working with people. That's the best. That's the two-sided thing. It's because I want to say this well, just working with this type of situation, there is a demographic that kind of comes along with it. And with that, there's, different habits and patterns that you can encounter that can be challenging, that we're aware of. We have trauma informed practices and things like that because, it's a hard place to be. And so
Right.
sometimes you see that, you really see that, whether it's, addiction or just the relationships are kind of broken, things like that can be really hard to see.
Yeah. I imagine you have to be wise in what in what you're doing and be really aware of what's going on for
Yeah.
because there's a lot of emotions, I'm sure, not just with the
Hmm.
kids, but also with the parents.
Parents, yeah.
Lots of emotions going on throughout this whole visit. Yeah. Yeah. I can see how that would be hard.
Mhm.
Did you need special training for this job?
A majority of the training was like car seat safety training,
Okay.
CPR, bloodborne pathogens. You do need an LLC. There's a lot of these companies, at least around here, and we're subcontracted
Okay.
through the state by another person who's contracted through the state. So it's a 1099 NEC. You're technically self-employed, so you need to get a business license or LLC. So that's something else I had to do. The insurance also is a lot different because you have to have really good coverage for driving kiddos around and stuff like that. That's something as well that I needed to get. Um, and then other than that, like just any type of background that you have with working with kiddos or trauma-based type things, that's also something that's not necessarily required, but really can help in that. So,
Yeah, that makes sense. So you are your own LLC, but are underneath someone who like how do you find the appointments or get I don't know, choose which ones you want to do?
so
Is there
there's a
like a database?
database.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a database. And so technically the people who I'm contracted through, I kind of think of them as the middleman between the state and me. They're the one who receive all of the referrals from all the social workers in the different regions around here. And it's kind
Okay.
of just like a big pool that we get to choose from.
Okay. Do you have kiddos that you always are wanting to work with? Like have you done multiple visits with certain kiddos?
Yeah, it's usually you get assigned to a case or a
Okay.
referral.
Oh, okay.
So, and then that is your set schedule. So say I'm working with the Green family and and they're able to do visits, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so I see them every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday from a certain time, and that's my set schedule. And then say on Thursdays and Fridays, I visit with the Johnson family and I always see them and it's reoccurring unless there's any changes because there's all kinds of things that come up because, the court or whatever may happen. There's a lot of things that can change that scheduling, but once those cases don't align with each other's schedule, then again, it's just like going to the pool again to grab the next
Okay.
referral.
Gotcha. So there's a database that you can look at, but you do have the same reoccurring kiddos. Do they see their do they have visitations multiple times a week, like you were saying, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday?
Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
Usually it's about at least 2 to 3 times a week, and
Okay.
most of them are at least 2 to 4 hours at a time.
Okay.
So, it's a court hour time that they need to meet, or
Okay.
they get to meet, yeah.
Okay. That they have that opportunity. Yeah,
Mhm.
that makes sense. Do you have not several? I was envisioning you having several kiddos, but do you just have a few?
Yeah,
Um,
it's usually, like, 1 to 2. 'Cause it can fill up the schedule. Because it includes the driving time,
mm,
depending on where they are, that can add on, like, an hour or 2 before or after the visit, so some
especially
days
in
are, like,
Washington.
8 or 9-hour days with just 1 kid.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
yeah.
Okay.
Mm,
Time. Okay. So you really do get to develop a relationship with the kiddo when you have them in your care.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then if you have a visit that's not as restrictive, I can't remember what you called it, what do you do with your time then?
So, we're allowed to leave the area, but
Okay.
make sure we need to be back. I've never had an unsupervised visit.
Okay.
I've only had up to monitored, and that's not because of any reason. They're usually overnight visits, so that's like evening.
Okay.
That's not really fits my schedule, but you're allowed to leave there. Some people go to the gym, some people go have lunch and then come back, but
Okay.
obviously not go too far away
Right.
just in case anything happens, but just like a little bit of
Maybe.
free time, you know?
Right. Okay. What kind of a person would be good at this job? Like what sort of skills?
Uh,
Someone who
communicative,
Yeah.
someone who's aware of themselves, able to set boundaries, someone who's I would say being gentle and kind is another important thing, because these are tender situations. Someone
Right.
who likes to have fun because you got kiddos, and then
Gotta
the
like kids,
responsibility
first
yeah,
of
you
all.
gotta like
Yeah.
kids. You gotta like people. Someone, yeah, who's fun, so because there's times when, visits don't end up happening, so, the
Um,
responsibility of also caring for a kid just in case that happens,
mhm.
because then you're the one feeding them, rediapering them, like, giving them snacks kinda thing, making sure they use the restroom, whatever it may be.
Right.
So
And consoling them and having that compassion because at that point, I'm sure they're sad that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, that definitely seems like needs to be a special person, which I know Anna is. It's a special person to do this, but it also kind of sounds like there's many Annas needed if you
Mhm.
only have one or two kiddos that you're responsible for, that I'm sure there's a lot of you needed. There's not enough Annas to go around. Yeah. And you said that they're looking or that they have jobs on Indeed or they post them.
Yeah. I don't know what that looks like, I couldn't tell you, but you can look up their company online.
Okay.
So I did that, after the fact of getting hired, but I was like, "Okay, yeah, like, you could technically find them." So,
Do you wanna tell us what the company is that you work for?
I work for Family Rooted Family Assistance.
Okay.
That's the name of the company. Yeah.
Alright. Yeah. Very fascinating because, yeah, I just didn't even think about this, and I actually worked in a law office and, at one point and saw, like, the visitation and stuff like that, but I would have
Mm,
just assumed that was the caseworker. But the caseworker's got a whole job to do, and if it's gonna take a whole day for the visitation, yeah, that's not gonna work
mhm.
out so well. So then do you work closely with those caseworkers as well?
Our job is kinda interesting because I don't get to see social worker I guess in person, you don't really see anybody. I've
Okay.
met a social worker maybe, like, twice, but contact is usually, like I said, if there's any updates or anything that's needed to know, and also the same with coworkers because all of us are all out driving and stuff like that. we don't meet at the office in the morning because we
Right.
all have our own home office. So like I haven't met a majority of my coworkers like person to person, and same with the social workers. It's all very digital. So
Okay.
emails and texts and calls and stuff like that.
Gotcha. Yeah. So then do you have to write up lengthy reports when you're done, when the visitations are over, or what does that look like?
Yeah, I usually try to do them while I'm at the visit. So
Okay.
I'm filling out like the referral form when they've attended it. And it's basically taking down the time, the drive time, the location, all those kind of things. They ask like a few questions about things that happen during the visits, like if we're on time, parent on time, if there's any safety concerns, those type of things. And then depending on the level of supervision, you're taking down like for a supervised visit, it's supposed to be like every couple minutes or so that you're basically jotting down it's supposed to be like without opinion. You're supposed to say it like you're a fly on the wall. So
Okay.
like such and such is happening. Mom changes diaper. Diaper is wet kind of thing. And so that can be kind of lengthy. The monitored is just every 15 minutes, kind of writing like a few sentences about what you observe. But yeah, that's kind of done during the visit. I'm kind of sitting there always taking notes because it goes really fast because
Mm.
kids moving around and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So you're like, child spilled water. Now she's over at the toy bin. Mom's cleaning up the water while mom's pulling, or the baby's pulling a slinky out, or something like that. Like it's just, it can be very like you're like in the courtroom, like you're just like typing what you're
Right.
seeing, kind of thing.
The court reporter
Yeah. So that's
needs to
that's
be
what
able to
that looks
write
like.
quickly. There's a skill.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So I have on here, which I feel like I have to ask you this. I don't even think that I've asked anyone this, but was there a moment when you knew this was the right career path for you?
Moment when I knew. I would say, yeah, one of my first cases was with a young boy, and I was like, this is for me. This is awesome. I absolutely love this. Yeah.
I remember talking to you early on and you were excited. You were so excited
Mhm.
about this. Yeah. That's and obviously it's very much needed someone who cares and has that compassion that you do because that's so important. So seeing you so excited about it. I know those kiddos are in great hands when with you. Yeah. That's
It's
awesome.
Auntie Anna.
With Auntie Anna. Yep. You didn't need any college for this. Would you recommend what would you recommend? Like if someone was interested in this, is there anything that you would recommend for them to do or I guess maybe be involved with kids for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as education goes,
Well, education or just some way that they could prepare for this career in this field.
I think the first thing that comes to mind is like any child development
Mm.
type classes. So you just know what's normal and what's not. Like if you don't have kids or never been around kids, but you really want to get into that, like
Mhm.
yeah, any type of child development type stuff. There's a really good class that's all over the United States called TBRI, Trust-Based Relational Intervention. That's a really great class that really talks about what it looks like to connect with kiddos that have been through really hard things. So that's a really good resource. Yeah, those are the two things that jump out at me.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely link that in the description, but I don't know if I have, let's see, anything else really. I think you described your job well and gave us a picture of what it is that you do. And if there's teenagers out there who love to work with kids and have compassion for kids, yeah, I think that they can watch this and definitely understand what they would be doing and find this the resource, the TBRI resource, and really look into it and see if it's something that would be a good fit for them. So I have a few rapid fire questions that aren't so heavy.
Yeah.
What was your very first job that you had?
McDonald's.
McDonald's. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So you learned some great people skills there and patience.
Probably. Yes.
Yes. I would say so. Did you ever have like angry people come at
Oh
you
yeah.
when you're at
People
McDonald's?
get mad about food. People get mad about food for sure. People inside the building and outside the building, whether you're working with them or they're outside ordering, people get upset about food. So
That brings up some rage in people, huh?
Mhm.
And let's see, what's one career you wouldn't want to do?
Oh my gosh, anything to do with, like, poop? Like, not wouldn't be me.
So then you
No
have
sewer stuff, no nothing like that.
no. But do you have to change diapers every once in a while, or is that a little
That's
bit
so
different?
true, look at me. It's not the core of my job.
Yeah. That's a rare occasion that you have to do that, huh? All right. And what's one piece of advice you'd give your 16-year-old self
My 16-year-old self.
or as a teenager?
You're more capable than you ever thought you would have ever imagined. Just keep going.
Yeah. Keep going. Yeah. Definitely. At 16, I think we think life's so hard, but keep going. Well, Anna, thank you so much for being on here and inspiring teenagers and doing what you do, really. It's definitely obviously needed. And you can just tell by the way you talk about it and the kiddos that you love what you do. And I know that those kiddos are blessed by it. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely.
Thanks for watching Nova Careers. If this interview helped you discover a new possibility, make sure to subscribe for new career conversations every Thursday. And remember, you can't dream what you've never seen.